Alright, today we're going to make some seating charts to take attendance. We're going to set out a custom layout for our room, and we're going to copy that layout to multiple classrooms. So we're logged into PowerTeacher here, and we're going to hit our seating chart. And if we just say to populate the layout right now, we have no layout, so it's just going to throw the kids into a block there in the class however they fit. And we could take a roll from that, but we want to make a setup for our desk. So we're going to cancel that pre-populate. And we're going to edit this new layout here. We're going to call it room 122. Okay. Give it that name. And we'll go to seating chart design. And we have some choices. We can go rows and columns. We can go, cancel that, we can go tables, two tables with two people across. 8 chairs per table would be a total of 16. Does the math for us, horizontal, vertical, something like that. We don't want that either. We could bring the kids in one at a time if we just enter a chair. But we'd have to do that, 36 times. That's no fun either. So I'm going to delete that. What quick and dirty way to get it started, if I have 36 seats in my room, then I'm just going to go to the rows. And I'm going to go 6 rows with 6 chairs in each row. Does the math, 36, add, bang. Okay, now it's a little on the large side for my screen, but I can zoom, give myself a little more floor space in my room. And I'm actually going to roll this up a little bit so I can see the whole room. And notice they're all orange. That means they're all selected. If I were to move, then the whole block moves with me. I'm going to click outside the orange ones to just unselect, and then I can handle them individually. If I have 6 rows of 6 tables, then I'm pretty much done. I can drag a kid in here, or I can populate the whole thing all at once. But let's say I have a custom layout for my room, and then we'll populate it. Let's say I have some scattered tables, and we're going to kind of mix it up. So let's say I've got some tables, and I can take one chair at a time, and I could bring those over here, put them next to each other. There's a table with 2 people at it. And I could do that with each pair, or I could take this one and line it up right next to the other one right now, select both of them, and I can move them both at once. That's a little bit quicker. But when you do that, you have to make sure when I come over here and do this one, if I leave this, all 3 of them are going. So I don't want to do that. So I have to make sure I click off and unselect those before I grab the next pair to bring over here. So let's do one more like that. So I'm going to click off it to get rid of it. I'm going to line those up. I'm going to grab the 2. I'm going to put them up here. So I've got 4. I got a row with 4 tables for 2. And then let's say I have in between here, I have a row of kids at a big long table. Let's just make a weird layout here. And a table for, that's what that for, let's make it a table for 6 going this way. Okay. And let's put another table for 6 right here. And notice it doesn't have a snap to grid, so if you want to be really picky about your lineup, you can make minor adjustments to them. Make another one there, so that's 12. And we can scooch left and right here. If we scroll down a little bit, go over here. I've got all these kids putting seats. So let's say I've got a 4-pool seat right there. Got another 4 right there. Maybe I got a couple of U arrangements here for the remainder of my kids. And I got one kid who's my favorite. I'm going to put him right up here in the front, right by my teacher desk. Got my teacher desk there. I can put him where I want. There's my teacher's desk. I can put a chalkboard in. Yeah, dealing with the small screen here. Put my chalkboard in just for some orientation for people. Okay, well let's say that is my seating chart. That's the layout of my tables. Well, it doesn't do much good without kids in it. And maybe I don't like this one here. That's kind of messy. If I click on one of these, I'm get rid of the chalkboard. Click on one of these. I can use my arrow keys to micro move and get this thing right exactly where I want it. And click the next one. Again, unclick and click the next one. Down, down, over, 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 over. And get them all lined up the way I want to. Make it nice and pretty. When I'm done, I'm ready to populate my students. So when I populate, I have choices. I can go alphabetically, A through Z or Z through A. I can display the last name or I can display the first name. I can start in any corner as I populate the students. So let's go with alphabetical and let's go A through Z, and I want to start in the front left of the room, so bottom left on my seating chart there. And I'm going to add my students. Boom. So there are my students situated across the front of the room. And since this one was the most forward in the room, Mason's going to be sitting right next to me, my favorite student. And then we start from left to right again, coming across the room, filling up the tables, and they're going across. It's not a very big class, but I have those 36 seats and I put them all up front. Okay, if that's the one I want to use, then I'm going to save that layout. And I could go right now, right to seating chart, and I could take roll on that layout. Well, that's just one class. I certainly don't want to do that 6 times. So I'm going to go to PowerTeacher again, pick another class. And again, I don't have a layout, so I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to come up here and click New Layout in parentheses. If I click this new layout, then I don't get the option to start from an existing seating chart. So I want the one in parentheses. And I'm going to call this room 122. And I could give it the same name, give it a different name, doesn't matter. But I'm going to click Start from an existing layout. That gives me the option of choosing that 122 layout I had from before as a starting point. And if I finish, I have that layout. And I'm going to zoom out so I see the whole thing again. There's my layout. And I can just populate that group. So if I go to Seating Chart Design, that's where you populate. You can't, you can drag kids in from the other one, but I'm just taking roll. But I want to populate. I'm going to go alphabetically. This time I'm going to go Z to A. And just for grins, I'm going to start in the back of the room, in the top left. Whoops, top left. In the back of the room, add my kids. And there they are. Got a little breathing room up here in the front, and my kids are situated from the back. Alphabetically, from Z to A. So Shelley Young's right there, and going across and down until we run out of kids at the A's. Okay, I want to save that one, so that'll be there. And I want to look right here. If I have another one that says new layout not in parentheses, that's just gonna, I can have multiple layouts for a given room. If I had to say lab days, I might have a different layout, but I don't want that one there. So I can take that new layout and hit edit and delete that new layout. And yes, I am sure. So now all I have is the opportunity to make a new layout and a room 122 layout to work with. Okay, and I've saved that, and again I can go to seating chart, take roll, blah blah blah. One more time. Let's go to back to PowerTeacher, grab another class that doesn't have a seating chart. Don't want to populate a layout I don't have, but I do want to make a new layout, and I'm going to call it room 1. You can call them first, second, third hour, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to start from a pre-existing layout, and I'm going to go next, and I'm going to pick that same one we started out with. It's back to our first hour, or since our second class has that too, we could do that. Finish. I got my blank layout. Zoom out so I can see where I am, and I'm just going to populate this time. You got to be in Seating Chart Design to populate, but I'm going to populate from A to Z, and we haven't started in the bottom right yet, so let's do that. We're going to start as far over right as we can. We're going to add the kids. There they are. And I'm going to save that seating chart. If I have an extra layout in there that I don't want, I can always click on it and hit edit, delete that layout, and confirm. So the only layout I have is room 122. So tomorrow, when it's time to take roll, I come to the first hour, I click this, there are my kids, I'm ready to take roll, submit. At the next hour, I click on this, it's already laid out, take roll, third hour, same thing. Piece of cake, nothing to it, anybody can do it. Have fun trying.